This what happened though. All right, so my nigga Grimy Graham, I didn't get to see his battle. I didn't know they was about to start his battle, so I was outside for his battle. He told me himself, like his material. He said
Yeah,
he
you
wouldn't
breaking
have
up,
no,
bro.
huh?
You breaking up.
All right, hold on. Let me try to get a better signal. Give me a second. Yeah, my network been on some other shit. Guess it got accustomed to the satellites, and then now that I'm back home, that shit acting mad weird. How it sound now?
You good, sir?
All right, 100. So yeah, Grimy Grim told me, you feel me? He felt like his material might have been a little too complex for that crowd. He said Real Name Brandon had a great performance. He wouldn't be mad at nobody giving it the Real Name Brandon 2-1, but he felt like he edged it. So let's say that they got that one. You feel me? Real Name Brandon, he played for their division. Let's say they got that one. Clutch and Scheme is highly debatable. Let's say they got that one. You feel me? I don't give a fuck what them weird-ass judges was talking about, my nigga. I whooped Sin City ass, and BF whooped Ratchet ass. So, you feel me? All that Vegas sweep shit, them niggas need to knock it off. I know they glad that they came out and finally did what they were supposed to do. I'm not going to say finally, because some of them niggas always do what they supposed to do. You feel me? But some of them niggas did not do what they were supposed to do. What'd you say, bro?
I said, like Corleone. Corleone's one of the guys that always show up and do what he do. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, straight up. Straight up.
But,
whether he's judging or battling or helping facilitate the event. You feel me? Corleone solid.
Corleone dope, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, real talk.
So let me give a recap of, okay, so you know I'm Vegas. I fuck with Mafia heavy though, right? So they asked me to to judge the battle. I looked at both of them like, look, I fuck with both of you, so I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible. They both agreed to me being a judge because, you know, I'm one of the guys that's always around. I know bars. I know battle rap. So, you know, and all of a sudden it was like, okay, who the fuck else? Because everybody else in the building was either Mafia, Death Certificate, or CMTF. And that was it. So they grabbed this dude from Kansas City, never seen him before on our platform. You know, I thought that'd have been a good look. And then they grabbed Real Name Brandon. Now, Sin City comes out. Well, first off, the coin toss, I don't know what the hell happened with the coin toss. Like, Jacasso just hit the furnace above him or some shit like that. So he tried to reflip it, but Ron was like, yo, we said everything goes. Why you flip the coin again? So already they was trying to get that going, but Ron, they got that straightened out. Sin City Nice went first. I think he went about 4 bars in and had to bring everything back. Like, so that just basically like he couldn't catch any momentum in that round. Had a few punches in there, but not with like the conviction or any type of delivery, just because he stumbled that hard in the beginning. Now, Ron comes out and just flips that man's name every way possible. With performance, delivery, just everything you would expect from, an MC, closing in on 20 to 25 battles. And that, you want to go in boxing terms, that was probably a 10-8 round. And so second round, it was the whole like, look, Sin City need to fight back or this could quickly turn into a body. And he did. He absolutely fought back. Now,
straight up.
Like, he had this whole, the apple don't fall far from the tree. That was, like, one of his first bars. And then, like, what gave him the round to me, I like people tying shit all together. So he brought that whole scheme back. And it was just, like, the way he did it was crazy. You know, but Ron had a dope-ass second round, too. Not going to lie, but it wasn't like, you know, it was kind of like, it was almost the same energy as the first, and I think that's what fucked everybody up with that round because they wanted yet another level, but Ron's first round was at such a high level already that, I mean, his second round was the same, but, you know what I mean, like, they were looking for, like, something even crazier because of the second round. So, me personally, based off pure objectivity, I gave that nice. Now, the third round, a lot of people said it's the most debatable round. I didn't think so. I thought the second was the most debatable. Now, Sin City Nice just comes with a completely different energy, right? Just barking this time. I had never seen Sin City, like, rap like this. Just barking, and it was great to see just because, you know, he's always so smooth and, you know what I mean, like, kind of like such a slow delivery. He sped it up. He was barking on Ron. Yeah, he was barking on you a little bit.
Yeah.
He came hard in that round. Pause. He came hard in that round. And so we were like, fuck. Like, in my head, I'm like, and I said it on Ron's live last night, like, Ron's in a deep hole right now. That was a crazy third round from Sin City Nice. And so Ron starts, maybe first 4 bars, a little slow, and then all of a sudden he just turned the fuck up. You know, me and Ron, we come from the, you know, the land of rappers trying to bully us because of our stature, right? And he kind of like turned that whole shit around. When I say this man literally shook a solid 2 to 3 seconds, bro, it was pure violation. I mean, not like, okay, he did that, but like his bars and that, crazy. So it was just a mixture of everything. Like when I was nodding my head, like
good.
with Sin City Nice, like I was literally turning around with my hands on my head. Third, you know what I mean? It was just a different feeling, a different reaction. So I gave the third to Ron. Now everybody that has been on the A-Hat team was already screaming, you know, Ron 3-0, Ron 2-1. You know, of course, some of CMTF was like, you know, Sin City 3-0, Sin City 2-1. But the general consensus in the building was Ron 2-1 or 3-0. So we get to OD calls the judges to the DJ booth. And he asked the first dude, you know, who do you think won? And he said, I got Sin City 2-1. And I looked at him shocked. Ron, I'll tell you my face. Like,
right.
My face expression, I was like, what? And then real name Brandon, I guess just because, I don't know, the first guy said Sin City won, he went with Sin City. Because he didn't have a winner before OD asked him. I'll say that. Real name Brandon did not have a winner before OD asked him. Now, when he looked at me, I said, what the fuck? Like, I was like, Ron clearly won that. And I was like, I told you nice, no hard feelings, but you did not win that battle. Right in front of OD, right in front of the other judges, right in front of Ron, I said, you didn't win that
Straight
battle.
up.
And
Straight up.
I was just shocked.
This was my thing.
Yeah, OD announced it.
This was my thing. Like, somebody asked me, like, well, you agreed to the judges. I'm like, bro, it really wasn't that many candidates for judges in there. Like Corleone said, you feel me? Like, majority of the niggas that was in there was affiliated with either myself or Sin City. You know what I mean? It was not too many people that we could clearly say would be unbiased. You feel me? So And on top of that, I felt like what I had, I wasn't tripping off who the judges was because I'm like, ain't no way nobody gonna judge against me. You feel me? But we gotta start. Number one, you have events like this was the J Scott event. It was beautiful. It was dope. It should have been way more people in attendance. The promotion should have been better for it. Number one. Number two, us as artists, we need to pull up to these events and support. Like, you feel me? Like, y'all be wanting everybody to share y'all shit and praise y'all and all of that when y'all do y'all shit. But it ain't always reciprocated. You know, niggas that are in Vegas been there. Like, it's a lot of niggas that's from Cali that should have went there to honor J Scott and just, you know what I mean, what we was doing yesterday. So, you feel me? But beyond that, it was a beautiful event. Like I said, me and Sin City was going to be battle of the night. I still stand by that. Now, don't get me wrong, Clutch and Scheme was dope, but I just feel like me and Sin City had a little bit more than that.
You know, Clutch and Scheme, it was just a weird energy in the room.
Yeah, that's real shit.
They were speaking on a lot of real shit, and you know, both sides there, and you know, rest in peace to both, you know, to both of the fallen. But you're looking at two squads that lost somebody dear to them, and their names were brought up like constantly. So it was like one of those, like it was just a weird energy in the room. You know, so of course a lot of talking was happening in the crowds and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like a lot was happening in that battle, and it was just like it was as a battle rap fan who has no real like affiliation to either squad. Like I fuck with both of them heavy. In fact, if you want me to be real, like, you know, Death Certificate and Mafia kind of like almost like took me in from the get go. Like, I don't know why, but they did. So, you know, with all that aside, like I fuck with CNTF, you know what I mean? And it was hard for me to enjoy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's real talk. I can see that for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was just hard just because like I'm not one to really speak on the dead. I'm not saying what they did was wrong. I mean, it's battle rap, you know what I mean? And it's not like they were disrespecting the dead. It was like, why weren't you there for them when this was happening, this was happening, and this was happening? Like, it was just a weird energy.
So,
you know what I mean?
They waited until this event to say something about Jay?
No, they weren't talking.
You really gotta see it to get the you know what I mean, the real context of it. It's hard to really, you know what I mean, summarize like that.
Yeah, it was a whole, like, without giving too much of the content away, they were talking about when CMTF had gotten to a fight in that parking lot, and Jay Scott was the youngest, and he was the one throwing the most and whatnot. I mean, I wasn't on the scene, you know what I mean, at the time. Did see footage of it, but, you know, I don't know the full background of it. That's why, like, it was, you know, it was hard for me to really enjoy that just because, like, yo, like, you know, that's, you know what I mean, I wasn't a part of that, and, you know, I go back and I watch, you know, footage of the, you know, the two fallen, and, you know, they were amazing. It's just, you know, it has to get to a point where, like, you know, it was a little hard to watch. But so I'll go back to Grim and Real Name Brandon. Okay, so I'm not one to let bars go over my head. Okay? I would literally sit there, listen to you while I'm still thinking about that bar that may have slipped other people. So, with that being said, let me give a purely unbiased recap on that one. Okay? Now, I think Real Name Brandon goes first. Okay. Now, this dude is the epitome of a bully in every way, shape, or form. This dude has the stature for it, got the voice for it, got the performance for it, and just completely personifies it. Now, and he was just spitting some shit to the point where, like, the vets in the room, like, yo, this dude could be next up. And I remember that dude from the last Vegas event because he was trying his hardest just to rap in that building. He was like, I got one round for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, he showed why. I ain't gonna lie to you. He showed why because that dude is dope. Now, Grimy Grim, you know me, like, I don't really like watch rap battles unless it's time for me to get in my mode and or if it's like somebody I fuck with heavy, like Ron, a Geechee, a Diesel, a Yak, a Bobby, you know, those guys. But you know, Grimy Grim came out with some shit. Started off slow, and with the way I'm just gonna say Brandon, okay? Because that's his real name, so we ain't gotta say real name Brandon all the time. All right, but the way Brandon came out, you can't come out slow against something like that. So I give the first to Brandon, hands down. Okay, hands down. The second, bro, like it was kind of like how do I describe it? It was almost like controlled chaos because at first his schemes sounded like, you know, sloppily put together because he would put two random things together and do a scheme and tell you this is how, you know, this is why I call it this. Like, I ain't never seen that before. I actually appreciated it a lot in the building. Like, I was fucking with that heavy. And this whole second round was like that. You'll see when it drops. Grimy Grim's second round, solid. Yet again. I mean, nothing had to say about it. But again, real name Brandon edged that round. Third round, Brandon comes out strong again. I mean, fuck. This dude was just on his shit. But then he started to tail off in the end. He really did. He started to tail off in the end. But it was like, you know, when a dude punching, like, you're throwing 200 punches around, and he finally gets into the 12th round, like, fuck, I might as well just throw 100 on this one. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
It was just that feeling like, okay, like, you know, he did enough to look like, you know, he's winning every round. But then the third, Grimy Grim actually came out, like, ridiculous, and I think I gave him that round. But, you know, all in all, good battle. You know, I'm not technically from Vegas, neither were they, but, so it ain't no bias. I had Brandon winning it in the building, and I think it's going to translate on cam, too. So, any other battles you want to hear about, Nico?
Well, I want to ask a question because y'all both are pretty familiar with what happened. A few weeks ago, they had that diss track that got put out there, and the AHAT group was pretty lit for, you know, a few days. Was there any mentions last night of that from the battlers, or were people kind of just leaving that alone?
Nah, and reason being is because, like, all of CMTF is still together. It's just one member who isn't. So, like, you know, shout out to Juice. He was there. Chicago, of course. He was throwing the event. Ratchet was there. Scheme was there. Young Menace. Shout out to Young Menace. You know, Sin City Nice, Prime. They were all there. So, you know, it wasn't like anything transpired or any other CMTF members was mad about the track. You know, I can't really speak too heavily on the situation because I don't know the inner workings of what happened. But, you know, CMTF was still CMTF. You know what I mean? They played the track in the building, actually. Ratchet took the mic and started performing it. You know, right in front of CMTF, so it wasn't like, you know what I mean? In fact, Trigger was still there, too. So, it wasn't like Trigger was making a whole bunch of noise. Don't get me wrong, it's not like they were hyping Ratchet over the beef. You know what I mean? It was just like, you know what I mean? Okay, they going at it. You know, that's between them. They family anyway. But yeah, Ratchet had the craziest choke I've ever seen. That shit was crazy. It was just one of those, like, man, I don't want to give too much of the battle away, but everybody's started talking about it already. And he literally looked, I had never seen a battle rapper look at his opponent and say, I'm done, you won. Like, that shit was crazy. Literally, those words, I quote verbatim, I'm done, you won. I was like, Ratchet, you can't be doing that, bro. That shit was so crazy. But, nothing really happened off that track, to be honest with you.